Now time for our last superheat of the 2024 Champions Winter Trophy. Up now, it's KZ2 and KZ2 Masters. Let's have a look at your starting order. Following on from the ranking after heats, Kevin Stohoa, after 2 wins, takes pole position. Jeffrey Fixer will be alongside on the front row. Then it's Jens Troyer and Charlie Turner. Jarno Opmeer is joined by Arthur Lehouk on row 3. Christian de Klein and Tom Bracken start on row 4 with Daniel Tenbach and Renzo Alibax on row 5, thereby completing the top 10. Gil Mertens and Sam van der Schuilen ran out row 6. Nina Pothoff and Thierry Del Rey, row 7. Dion van Verven and Armin Piella round out row 8. Row 9, Mark Verhoeven and Sib Kuipers. Completing the top 10, Enzo Bol and Dirk van Silfhout. Mickey Bertram, René de Bruyker, Dan Zopfi, Cedric Collars and William Klooster round out the 25-strong grid. So, 2 different race winners yesterday and today. Arthur Lehouk, the 809, picked up the win from having started 15th on the grid. Actually tagged me on Twitter saying, hope you enjoyed Heat 1. I definitely did. I think a lot of people that were watching the stream did so as well. So, 12 minutes on the timer plus an additional lap. And then we have the lunch break. And the anticipation will start building for the finals. And then the big prizes are up for grabs. It's winner take all this afternoon. You get to this point of the competition, again, mechanical sympathy. You've got to make sure that you do a little bit of damage limitation in terms of looking after the equipment. But if you see a move and you take that opportunity and it's worth it, and your mechanic has to work an extra couple of minutes on the karts, as a result, the mechanic will say, hey, that was a good move there. It's all about working in harmony with the machinery and the people that are around with you. Drivers weaving from side to side. A dry line very much apparent on the 1,360 metre circuit. Because now, the drivers will be on the LeConte tyres, the dry tyres. This means grip, performance, and what's more, great racing. Our race director, Thomas Liner, stands at the front of the grid with the red flag in the air. And once the green flag waves at the back of the field, when everyone is in position, we will be under starters' orders. Green flag now waves at the back of the field. 25 drivers, KZ2 and KZ2 Masters. Oh, we've had a full start. I think it was Jens Troyer that might have just accidentally went a bit further forward. So straight away, we're going around for a formation lap. As William Klooster finally gets the 911 moving forward. I think there was a little bit of over-eagerness to get those karts off the line and heading into turn 1. So the drivers now get back into their grid positions. So Stahoa will be on the inside, Fixer to the outside will be pole position. I think I'm just trying to remember now. I think Fixer might be on the inside. So pole position will be on the right-hand side of your screens. So 25 drivers, KZ2 Masters, ready, lined up. Green flag, waves at the back of the field. 12 minutes plus an additional lap on the timer. The red lights are out. Oh, and a disastrous start on the inside of the outside of the front row. And that would have been Jeffrey Fixer that bogged down, and we've got 2 off. Out of the opening exchange through into turns 1 and 2. And one of which I think was the 822. Possibly. I'll wait for that to be confirmed in just a second. But 2 drivers were off. One is not getting going again. The other one is making their way through turn number 2. So the opening lap has been completed, and Arthur Lehouk has actually catapulted himself up to second. He's ahead of Charlie Turner, whereas Kevin Stahoa is now leading the way by just under a second. Jarno Opmeer rounds out the top 4 in the 802 CRG. He's being chased down by Christian de Klein. Jens Troyer, who started on the inside of row number 2, who I think had a little bit of a jump start moment when we had the full start given. Jens Troyer in 6th behind Christian de Klein. Tom Bracken. And we also had, I think it's, the likes of Daniel Ten Hag, Jeffrey Fixer all the way down in 9th. And then Sam van Verskuilen in the 819 rounding out the top 10. So there is going to be a bit of a bigger gap, I think. Stahoa is not going to let anybody chase him down, but Lehouk did do a number on him in Heat 1. Lehouk's got that gap down to under 7/10 of a second as Tom Bracken looks to the inside line through turn 2 on Jens Troyer. Troyer defends, a little bit of bumping between the pair. Bracken looking for the inside move at turn 4. Troyer runs wide. Troyer runs wide, and then Bracken gets through. So Troyer got a bit of a scare. He had a young upstart up the inside of him. And what's more, Tom Bracken and Enzo Boll will be competing in multiple KZ2 series over the course of 2024. So that was a very, very hard exchange between the pair. So Jeffrey Fixer will have to try and get past Daniel Tenbach. It looks like it was possibly Gil Mertens. Well, Gil Mertens has dropped. William Klooster is out. So Arthur Lehouk trying to close in. He's got the gap down to less than 5.5 of a second and has just put in a 54.924 as the young man from France. So Jeffrey Fixer still in 9th. Started from second, was on the front row, bogged down at the start. Stahoa got away, but in this early stage of the race, we are on lap 3 with 8 minutes and 34 seconds to go, plus an additional lap. Still a lot can happen in this race. Jarno Opmeer closing in on Charlie Turner for P3, but then Christian de Klein is with the 802, and de Klein looks for the move up the inside. He's going to get through on Opmeer. Opmeer down to 5th. And that is going to allow Tom Bracken to start chasing them down, and he's right with Opmeer. So de Klein went for the move through turn 12, saw the window of opportunity and took complete advantage of it. Stahoa, in the meantime, is trying to close away, or trying to pull away from Arthur Lehouk at this moment. 54.482 is the fastest lap of the race by the 811 from the Netherlands. Opmeer losing a little bit of ground now to Christian de Klein as Bracken is with the Dutch driver. Jens Stryer in the 842. That's sort of like cool mint green, white and black livery. Bracken looking for the move up the inside. He's going to do exactly the same. Oh, that was not what Jarno Opmeer needed. He was hit up into the air by Tom Bracken, who looked for the move up the inside. And straight away, Jarno Opmeer's opportunity of at least the top 5 finish has just gone bye-bye. And that's allowed Sam van Verskuilen. Oh, now who was that on the front straightaway? That was Jeffrey Fixer, who was on the front row. He's now hit trouble. So Sam van Verskuilen through on Tom Bracken. So we've got 6 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in this last superheat of the Champions Winter Trophy. So 2 big dramas, one for Jarno Opmeer, one for Jeffrey Fixer. Dan Zotfi looks to be all the way down. Well, Dan Zotfi is actually running. Well, is showing down into all. I'm just keeping an eye on what's happening with Dan Zotfi at the moment. Might not be running anymore. Jeffrey Fixer and Jarno Opmeer look to still be circulating. But obviously that depends on how hard the landing was for Jarno Opmeer, because he was all 4 wheels in the air and the kart was 180 degrees pointing in the opposite direction after that incident. So Gil Mertens out on lap 2. William Klooster out on the opening lap. And that would have been the turns 1 and 2 dramas that we saw a few moments ago. Just under 6 minutes remain, plus an additional lap. And Arthur Lehoucq is getting closer and closer to the race leader. Kevin Staho's got to watch it. There's a move up for 3rd place. Christian de Klein up through past Charlie Turner. Gap between 1st and 2nd, now 4 tenths. And de Klein, new fastest lap of the race, despite having to overtake Charlie Turner. He just put in a mid-53.5 and has already started to pull away from the Brit on the Maranello chassis, prepared by Rush Performance. Over in the UK, Jens Stryer not too far away from the 803 from the United Kingdom as they head down into turn 7 off of the Europalan. So 7 minutes completed, 5 to go. So it is going to be a case of who is going to make the moves when they need to happen. Arthur Lehoucq is closing in on Stahauer for the race lead. Gap now 2 tenths. So I've got a feeling that this could be the wind up by Lehoucq to try and get through on Stahauer down the Europalan and late break into turn 7. Right, let's find out, shall we? Hard on the accelerator. They'll be banging through the gears up to 6th. Lehoucq was close within about a kart length, but did not have the momentum he needed to close on in to the 8:11. We've still got 4 minutes to go. So if Lehoucq can't do it on the Europalan, he can do it on the start-finish straight. Out of turn 11, they go now. And where is Lehoucq going to plant his kart? Along the same line as Stahauer, as we have sunshine from up above bathing the circuit for the first proper time this weekend. 2 tenths still separate the top 2. De Klein ahead of Turner by 7.5 tenths. Troyer, Van Verskuilen, Bracken. Then we got Alibaks and Siep Kuipers rounding at the top 10. Now down the Europalan once again. Lehoucq not close enough to Stahauer at this moment in time, but later on the brakes through T7 goes the Frenchman. So just over 3 minutes out of the 12 still to go in this race. And I think Lehoucq is waiting for the right moment. It will be later on. Now he's got the run out of turn 12, but Stahauer is able to power away into the distance ever so slightly. Jens Stryer now has got through on Charlie Turner for 4th place. And at the moment, Thierry Del Rey in 15th is leading the Masters class at the moment. But good, clean move there by Jens Streuer on Charlie Turner to take 4th place away from the Brit. Lehouk has just gone purple, 53.272. I know for a fact that the 811, Streuer from the Netherlands, is going to have eyeballs in the back of his head. Just seeing, I think that is Dan Zopfi just coming through out of the final corner in the 872 Birrell Arts chassis. And is still running. And, well, the lead has changed. The lead has changed in the meantime. Lehouk is now leading the way. And that gap looks to be quite significant. It was 2 tenths at one point. Now it's nearly 6.5 tenths. So Arthur Lehouk, after closing in on Kevin Stahauer for the race lead, was 2 tenths of a second behind and has changed that up to a 6.4 tenth of a second pendulum swing. That's nearly 8.5. That's 8.5 tenths he's taken out of Stahauer by passing him and getting away into the distance. Tom Bracken, new fastest lap of the race, 53.260. He is still currently running in 7th. Nina Pothoff has just dropped down the order. Now I'm wondering, can I spot where the kart might be, or has it peeled into pit lane? So Nina Pothoff might be somewhere around the circuit. So 1 minute, just over a minute to go. I don't think Lehouk is going to be out of the woods quite yet. Stahauer is less than 6 tenths behind, but we are on this lap. I think so. We're probably going to have an additional 2 after this one when we cross the line. So 45 seconds by the time that Lehouk hits turn 7 of the Europlan. So that is going to give us this plus 2 more laps to go, and we're on lap 12. Into turn 10 go the race leaders. So let's see who's got the faster lap time. Last time around, it was Stahauer. Lehouk crosses the line, completes lap number 12, and it's just under 4.5 tenths. So Stahauer just did a personal best, 53.341, plays 53.476. Timer now expires. 1 more lap after this, and Lehouk has just got to keep nice and calm and collected. Unlike the first heat yesterday, where he literally did a number of everybody in the field in front of him. 14 other drivers, including this one that he's overtaken a couple of laps ago. Sam van Verskuilen sets the new fastest lap of the race, 53.214 seconds by the 819. Still holding station as Nina Pothoff peels into pit lane. That's her superheat done and dusted, unfortunately. The last lap board of the final superheat of the 2024 Champions Winter Trophy is underway, and Arthur Lehouk leading by just over 3 tenths of a second from Kevin Stahauer. In the meantime, Christian Decline has been consistent. Last 3 laps, 53.3, 53.2, 53.4, and has got to within 1.1 seconds of second place. Jens Streuer and Charlie Turner ran at the top 5. Sam van Verskuilen, Tom Bracken, Daniel Tenbach, Renzo Alibaks and Siep Kuipers ran at the top 10. Leading by a comfortable margin, Thierry Del Rey is still leading KZ2 Masters. Jano Otmir has been able to make up a couple of positions in the meantime. So is Jeffrey Fixer, obviously because of the unfortunate retirement of Nina Pothoff that we've just seen. Final lap underway. Who's it going to be, France or the Netherlands? It's like the quarterfinals at the Euros. Just under 3.5 tenths of a second separate Lehouk and Stahauer. And this will put them on 2 wins apiece. But the big thing is, with the superheat, you win it, it's 75 points. Well, we've actually been given the checkered flag. So Lehouk takes the win. Stahauer takes second. Christian Decline takes P3. Jens Streuer 4th. Charlie Turner in 5th. Sam van Verskuilen in 6th, ahead of Daniel Tenbach. There's your race winner, Arthur Lehouk from France in the 809. Siep Kuipers takes 9th, ahead of Tom Bracken. Armin Piela Enzo Bol in 12th, Dirk van Silvout, Dion van Verven, Rune de Bruyker, and winning in KZ2 Masters, Thierry Del Rey from Belgium in the 902. Mark Verhoeven, Jarno Opmeer, Cedric Collars, Jeffrey Fixer, and we've got Mickey Bertram. Will be the fact that Dan Zopfi will be classified in 22nd. Nina Pothoff retires with 2 laps to go. Gil Mertens out on lap 2, and William Klooster in the 911, unfortunately, out on the opening lap.